It's a long time. I know dance like this. Cheers! No. It's a long time. I know groove like this. I'm happy for you guys, man.
Raging fire.
Raging fire.
Yo, man. Long time.
Listen, man.
Long time.
Listen. Grammy nominee.
Yes, sir.
How does it feel?
When you first found out you were a Grammy nominee, what is the feel at that time?
Well, I'm honest with you. Me tell Luke's Morgan management call me and say, yo, Grammy, you know, I'm Mr. Luke's. No bother with them call the 6:30, them foolishness they
not
call
today.
with them. Yeah, not today, Luke. No. And on April Fool's Day. No bother with that.
Yo, it's like, honestly, it just happened so fast. You know what I mean? It just happened so fast. I remember, having a conversation with Luke, myself and the Morgans, we have a great relationship. And Luke, I remember when Luke was telling me he was about to get involved with you guys' project. You know what I mean? And it seems like the phone call was yesterday. And now, you know what I mean? The Morgans has gone with the Grammy last year. You guys are now, same camp, great music, touring the world, doing your thing, and all of a sudden Grammy nominees. Like, how does it feel?
It's a great feeling, man.
Humbling feeling,
Most of all, yeah, man. Feel honored, but to still feel humble, because we know the work we put in and the sacrifice we make over the years in terms of, you just a touring, a whole heap of sacrifice going on touring. That's why I don't have many artists so a tour, them really go to shows, but them not on tour. Touring is living on the road. Raging Fire basically lived on the road for the last 4 or 5 years.
And definitely you guys have done something like, I'm just proud. You know what I mean?
I remember when you guys came here to promote the album.
Yeah.
And we are saying, the album is bad. Bad. And we are now pleased to know you're back here, Grammy nominees.
Yeah, Grammy nominees.
Let me ask you a question. How me and Chin go up on the album?
I mean,
we need some.
I better just get some tuxedo, man. And we'll have to go to the Grammy.
That's a color kit.
Work on something for 2017, man.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm, we got to keep this thing in the family, right? And here's what I'm asking, right? Just like how as soon as Luke, Morgan, and Grandson Peter was able to put their hands on that Grammy, I was able to pick up the phone and say, yo, I want to go on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that and we got our fingers crossed, right? You guys get that award, right? I'm just going to call Luke's and say, Luke's, put them on the phone right now.
Yeah,
see? And hopefully it's on a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Friday where we're going to be live on air. You know what I mean? But, just talk to everybody about, the work that you've been putting in and some of the things that you've been doing. The music, of course, is just, it's just great vibe, soul-catching music, of course. But talk to people about what you want them to know about Raging Fire. Because I know that some people have said, but them youth are Grammy nominee, I'm not too know about them. Talk to them.
All right, to say Raging Fire band, many people don't know, but Raging Fire they're around from 2002. So we started out at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. Namely, Demar Gill, keyboard player, and you have Anthony Watson, the drummer, and you have Delroy Hamilton, the bass player. So they were the 3 original guys who were in the same class at school.
So coming out of the School of Music?
Yeah. So when them start 2002, them go on and go on. I mean, I start school at 2006 is when I started, but they were leaving that year. So one of the man them end up stay behind because they have something for the Pele. And me and Pele become friend. So it's just destiny, right? That's how for me end up meet Pele, and then it just go on and go on till when I finished school 2010. They were the same guys that say, yo, we're going to do a final year show with you. Come and them come at Edna Manley School and them play me exam with me, as a singer. And after that, we just say, yo, we stop playing for everybody because what happened is that we used to play for every known artist in the business.
Oh, you should be a backing band.
Where I talk about man, Vibes Cartel, everybody.
Sting,
Antigua, Sting. So we were a band. So basically, we get training, playing for everybody else. So there's no song we don't know. So when people are talk, we're Raging Fire, know every artist song. We play upon enough record. You talk about Richie Spice, Book of Job album, Black Woman. We write that song and produce that song. So it's like we've been around, but we just did stay so as musicians, learning the craft as we go along. So 2011, we say, yo, we're going to drop an album. We don't have nothing to lose. And we released Judgment Day album.
Wicked.
And after we released the album, we did have a little show going out, a Wiki Wacky, where Wiki Wacky live at Bull Bay. So say that a little bit out of Kingston, but close to the airport. So if you watch the match now, Once we got some bam and we start keep the show every first month, we start live stream it just like this to people who would watch, because we don't know who are going to watch. But guess who start watch? Germany. And within 6 months, we have people that travel. I come Jamaica because the airport right there. So.
Right.
And them come out with the event. After that, you know, when we release the album a year later, August 11, you know, August 7, 2011, we see 800 people come out with album launch for your album where we never have no label. We don't know what it is. We just never have nothing to lose. And the following January, Rebel Salute, Tony Rebel say, yo, Raging, if you don't want the palm show, when I have to go, I think I go and name Buckle of the Bands. When I have to go cap that 100 grand then in a competition before me can put it up on my show, you know. And I say, but Tony, we don't really want to go in a competition. He must say, yo, here, man, every big artist out of Jamaica been through this, man. Here we do, man. Show me, say you want up on the show. And we go up there, you know, Battle of the Bands, you know. We never registered, nothing, and we should have registered months before, but you know Mr. Cooper and couple link. We get in on the last day, and we just go up there the next day, and we have to play out to hard, because we say, yo, I hope Tony in our crowd are watching us. You know, because we say, yeah, we have to get power of the salute. And, you know, since 2011 going to 2012, and I tell you honest truth, they never make a win, you know, because we are baddest band there still.
So we almost win.
Yeah, almost win, you know, so we end up coming second place. And we know that it got because it was unfair. We never deserved in that competition.
Big up Blueprint.
Big up Blueprint, man, and, you know. But the thing is, we were there, and after the show, Tony Rebel, they was there, and him outside, and he must say, yo, Raging Fire. But then he must say, yo, singer, you related to Garnet Silk? And I say, yeah, man. Because you don't know, people always ask me if I'm Garnet related, and it's my favorite singer. So, through that now, we end up on Rebel Salute, and, you know, Jah just start blessing from that. I promote at the backstage and say, yo, Europe, you know, tour. 2 months we spent in Europe, you know, that same year, and we just went back the same year for the next month.
The growth has been so fast. For those of you who are not familiar with Raging Fire, make we touch look like them catalog Ninja for kind of get you guys. Of course, Ninja was showing off with some Mighty Crown dub plates, and then him sliding a look at one sound chat for not make it look no weird. But me understand, you know what I mean? The man them about to get a Grammy, and him not for sure say my
when the Grammy, I make sure my name upon the Grammy so them can say.
Soundchat Radio, turn it up. Raging Fire's in the building, and I want to speak to them just about the journey of music, right? And Luke Smargon is in the building, and he definitely has a strong understanding of the whole Grammy process. And many of you called up last week, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday show, and was asking, well, how do certain people get elected for the Grammys? Some of you were saying, well, Ziggy Marley, again, we never even know about the last song where him get, you know what I mean? So, you know, I want to go, you have that, right, Luke? You understand the whole process of the Grammy, right? So we're going to talk about that. It's Soundchat Radio, entertainment, information, education. Oh, no, the thing, go turn it up. ASCAP. JCAP is now, you know, sending out this notification, right, that the majority of the royalties paid leaves Jamaica from the radio stations, and not enough Jamaican artists are being compensated. Talk to me about that and try to explain to us.
Yeah, you know, we just have the reasoning and I fun. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's just to them read the Star and me see the article, and me I say, but wait. You know, we kind of do a cross-checking because, I mean, we were members of JCAP.
Right.
You know, we're no longer members of JCAP, but we understand how JCAP works. And when I read the article, you know, those are big numbers, you know, for royalties in Jamaica. Those are big.
Those are big numbers.
Yeah, when you really check it, those are numbers that are coming in. And us artists who are a part of that association.
Not getting those money?
No, it's not that you're not getting the money, but when you do get the money, for example now, if there's 10,000 people in JCAP, everybody gets the same check. Even if you're just... So basically the system is not set up to actually... So basically when them showing to them have 94 million collected and they're paying out 34 million in administrative fees, that's a lot of percentage from something that you're collecting.
Right. So it is saying that they collected 94.6 million in royalties in 2015, right? They're saying a total of 39 million was distributed amongst the holders, right? Rights holders. I guess that would be the members of the right. Now they're saying out of that 39 million, a sum of 7 million was paid to JCAP members, while another 32 million went overseas to the I guess the songs of the artists that were.
But that to me is weird, because how can that go over? I'm not sure if Jamaica is registered BDS. You know what BDS is? When your song play upon Hot 97,
Yes.
it would show up that your song get a spin. I'm not sure if any station in Jamaica is registered as BDS. So how could you say you're paying that royalties to be paying a foreign artist song in Jamaica? It just
Yeah,
the logics don't make sense, because when you pull up your BDS reports, you don't see Jamaica radio spins. So where's the logic? How could you say you pay that for overseas? And how often does overseas acts come to Jamaica to perform to get their royalties off of live performance?
It's being quoted by the manager, general manager of JCAP, saying too much foreign music is being played. Hence, we have to remit quite a lot of our distribution to foreign sales societies, foreign societies, I should say. In 2015, 82% of royalties went overseas. In 2013, 85% of royalties went overseas. In former years, 2006, 63% went overseas.
That's funny, because I know that even major record companies, they don't look at the Caribbean, because they say they don't make money out of the Caribbean off of record sales, off of radio players. So even most artists that signed to the major, they would always look at the artist and say, you can have the Caribbean. It means nothing to them, because there's no record sales, there's no BDS spins, there's nothing. So how could you? It's mind-boggling to me to see a system like that set up in Jamaica, and it's like it's raping the artists and the musicians, because there's no way you can be paying royalties and everybody get the same dollar down to the cent.
So let me.
That is madness.
Let me understand this system. Like, if you're a member, even if you didn't have a hit record,
You getting the same money as the man who have a hit record?
Once you register there,
How could that be?
you get some money. So, for example, I got some money the other day,
And
and when I went to the bank, everybody got that same check. Artists who don't even have a song out recorded as yet get the same money. So
That makes
I don't
sense.
understand.
Oh, that
wow.
But it's just a system. I think it's just they're trying to get a system together where, you know, it works, but it's going to take much more than, you know, what's there right now. Because as I said, the monies are coming in and the payout times, you know, seem shady. Most of the times it's shady in terms of when they pay out, and even mechanical rights. Because when we perform in Europe, every time we perform, the promoter of that event pays a fee. You
Right.
know,
to PRS or
to PRS
ASCAP.
or whoever, and I'm saying they have collected these monies over the years for artists too. So basically, if Raging Fire has been touring Europe so much, and we have never received a check for that, and we've
been promised a
We've
check.
been promised a check for 4 or 5 years, and until one time they say we're not members until we go re-register. Then they say, all right, you're members. Then we just say, oh.
You leave it alone.
Yeah.
718-554-8598. We're having a good conversation, of course, with Luke Morgan, Grammy holder of last year, Morgan Heritage, and the Grammy nominees, Raging Fire. The process to become a because here's the thing that I think that we in the culture of dancehall and reggae, our favorite artists and the big song where I run the dancehall, I run the road. When we see somebody who might not have a big song playing in the dancehall or on the radio every day, we tend to say, so him up there. A bias thing that man. Them boy, them music they now play a dance. Them forget Grammy. What's the process?
It is the Grammy Recording Academy. It's a membership organization. There's 13,000 active members in it. I remember Christy Barber used to come to Jamaica and do whole heap of interviews, say, register. It's $100 to register. $100 a year is to be a member of it. So, and then when you're a member, you can submit any record to the Grammy Associations to be considered for it. This year, in the pool for the reggae category, it was 111 reggae albums. And there was, out of that 111, there was about 30 compilation albums. So most of the albums that's released in Jamaica, the artists, them, because they're not members, the producers are not members, the engineers are not members, the labels that's putting out, they're not members. They don't know how to register their album to the Grammy to be even considered. And then even when you submit it to be considered, 61% of that album has to match the genre of reggae, or it will be kicked out. It won't be considered. So it's a process. You know, people always say, you know, Ziggy's always there. Big up to Ziggy, but Ziggy's an active member. You know, every record that he puts out, Tough Gang registers his record. You know, them signed to VP. VP submit their record. Janine's record was submitted. Alba Rosie record was submitted. You know, so you have to submit your record. It's a process. You know, but the artists them don't want to become members. Producers don't want to become members.
But they want Grammy.
But they want Grammy. How do you? It doesn't match. And even if you're not a member, okay, you're not a member. But the label where you put it out upon, they have to know the business. You understand? To submit the record to the Grammy associations to be considered. If it's not submitted, you can't talk.
So 61% of the album has to be in the genre in which you are
Which is-
claiming,
yeah, exactly.
right? Which in our genre would be reggae.
Reggae.
Right? What else is qualifications?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Just to be a member, the qualification, I think it's 6 digital records with your name on it, or 12 physical. That's
So-
the only qualifications. As a producer, you have to have your name on the record as a producer. Engineers or members, you know, because if an engineer mix the record and that band win the record, he gets a statue as well. Same with the producer. You understand? That produced 61% of
So
the
everyone
record.
on the project needs to be a member. So,
Everyone,
so
yeah,
if-
it's a vote.
if you want to get be a part of the association, you understand? Be a member. You don't have to be a member. If you're nominated, everyone that contributed to that record will get a certificate, whether you're a member or not, because that title, what you have now achieved as a nominee, that's with you for life. You understand? But you have to become a member. The music industry, to hear that the music industry is so big and there's only 13,000 active members, that's a low amount. That is low.
718-554-8598. Raging Fire is in the building. Definitely so glad that they stepped by. Big up to Fat Man in the building as well. VP Records. Just, you know, having a conversation about the music. We've watched the journey. It was one of the quickest rises that I've seen. You know what I mean? Who else is also nominated this year? I know Jay Books.
Ziggy is nominated. Sly and Robbie with what's his name?
Devin the Doctor.
Devin the Doctor. You have 3 non-American bands. You have Soulja as a live album, Revolution, and J-Book.
Right.
That's it. So it's 6. It's normally 5 in the category, but when there's 6, that means that 2 records was a tie.
And let me ask you this. How do you win?
Well, winning.
Who
Voting.
votes? Who votes
Voting.
for the win?
Voting.
Out of the 13,000.
Out of the 13,000
Yeah, so
people.
basically you have to
So
get
no,
So
it's
13,000 people decide who wins the Grammy.
yes.
in each category.
In each
Yes.
category.
Well, how it goes, as a voting member, you can only vote, I think it's on 12 or 15 categories, each member. So one of the things that they really stress on is that vote in the category that you specialize in. So like, we will specialize in reggae, that would be with primary. No, because we listen R&B and hip-hop, we can vote in those already, but them kind of want you to specialize within the category, because if you don't know nothing about jazz, how could you vote for a jazz? It's unfair. You know what I mean? I said, so it does. It's to win that category, I'm not sure the percentage of it is, but I don't think the whole 13,000 votes on every
Luke
category.
Morgan is in the building. Of course, they won the Grammy last year. How much does things change after being a Grammy recipient?
The title alone, your life has changed. Just being a nominee, that lives with you forever. And then to even win, it's like a feeling, like when I got the seat that they was nominated, it's like me get goosebumps all over again. Cause it's like a story. It's like a movie. You know, last year we got nominated, we won. You know, and then this year as a manager now, for them, their first international record released. You know, it's almost like the same story. Our first independent record that we put out ourselves, we
As
got
Morgan
nominated. At
Heritage.
Morgan Heritage, we won. Their first international released record with a record company, they got nominated. So it's like, you know, it's like walking the same road. But it's like a feeling it's a feeling, it's the highest accolade you can achieve within the music industry. It doesn't get no bigger than that.
How does it feel to you guys? Like, how has it changed now that you know Luke called you 6:30 in the morning, wake you up, right? But now that you know that it's a reality, right? And everybody that bucks into you on the road and you're bridging them, and the people that were grew on our school of music, how has things changed?
Yeah, this is almost I would consider it a win for even our past school, Edna Manley School of Visual and Performing Arts, because this showed them that musicians are now being recognized for the art and the sacrifice they put in learning their craft. It's like a win for Edna Manley, it's a win for Jamaica, young bands, on the rise, So right now the respect turn up. Like everywhere we go now, people see you on a different level.
And as Luke says, the level, it can't be taken away.
No, it can't take away. And what I'm proud for is for the school. Because every artist at Jamaica, them band
Edna Manley.
consists of Edna Manley's musicians.
Wow.
Every
Everyone.
band that is touring out of Jamaica right now, their musicians come out of that
I know
school.
Chronic's people come out of there, right?
Damian Marley.
Damian Marley, Stephen Marley, Morgan
Heritage,
Heritage, Beanie Man,
Beanie Man,
Mufado,
Mufado,
every band.
Every artist.
It's like the Berkeley
Cocoa
of
Tea, Freddie
Jamaica.
McGregor, that's every
Every artist band, musician,
So I think
go
this,
that school.
this give the musician, especially the youth, them a certain sense of, because before this everybody thinks say, yo, you're left school and you just have to go play for your artist, but them never really feel that them in themselves could create something and put it out there. And Raging Fire really make the sacrifice and do that still, over the years. And I think,
Listen, man, again, I got to say, I'm definitely proud of you guys. And I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, you know what I mean? For it to be driven home. Ninja was just telling me something that I knew, but I definitely forgot. Mighty Crown's mixed CD, A Raging Fire.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Ended up being like what?
Top 10.
Top 10
Top
on
10, number 8.
Yeah.
Large of that camp.
The recognition
Yeah.
that people are recognizing, because when me start work with them, it's from the first time I see them was the 50th anniversary. O2 Arena. It was opening for Morgan Heritage. And both did a run that night there and Ray. That's the first time I saw them. I mean, they backstage and I look at them and I say, there's something about that youth device. And then me I browse and I watch YouTube and watch them performance from Summer Jam. And I say that, I have to find them youth here. And I call Pele, the bass player, and say, yo Pele, who am manager? And he said, boy, who this? I say, Luke's this Morgan Heritage. He said, what? Who you fear call my phone? I said, who am manager? I fly down from Miami and go meet them at them headquarters and from there. And there's just something about Kumar's voice where there's an innocence and a purity within his voice that every time I hear it, it captivates me. And when we decide to do this album with Riff Raff, Lamar, Steven, keyboard player, we take a chance with the sound because people look on them sound and say, this sound can't work. The first time I see Elise, and Elise said when she first heard Judgment Day, she think of some old man. She couldn't believe as some young youth are played because it's 70s, 80s roots. You understand? And it's a gamble that we took with the sound, and it worked. And see the mixtape with Mighty Crown, the top 10, and then week before, a legendary band like UB40 put out in top 10 records of all time. 8 of them was from the 70s, 80s. Welcome to Jarmark was 9, and Everlasting was 10.
Sweet.
You understand? So to see their journey and the sound, it's like
Wicked.
Sweet.
Yeah, who not get the Grammy? Nah, who not get the Grammy? Nah, Axel. Enough work going on the talent and enough sacrifice.
The voice that
Yeah,
he's
man.
speaking about, I know that so many people are listening to Sound Chat Radio tonight. The voice that he's speaking about, please give the people a sample of why he's saying that the voice is just, something that gives you that feeling.
Yes, Jah. Head no come from morning. Steam chalice in a we yard. It's a straight ragamuffin thing. Say, yeah, straight ragamuffin thing. Yes, I feel it. Roots rock reggae still a chant down Rome. Don't trim natty dreadlocks. Leave him alone. Watch natty rise. Watch Natty fly, Natty dreadlock, you better open your eyes. Do you love Natty dreadlocks? I wanna know, do you love Natty dreadlocks? Yes,
Straight ragamuffin thing.
yes, I.
Ah, man. Ninja,
Yeah.
favorite track on the album? Anyone has a favorite track on the album? You guys have
Yeah.
a favorite track on the album?
Name a
I know it's like
favorite
the worst thing to ask an artist.
Name a
but
favorite track.
I like to ask anyway.
My favorite track. My favorite track named Dash Water. Dash Water. Dash some water.
Yeah.
So we got some dates and some tours and all of that kind of good stuff coming up, don't it? Let's talk about that.
Stuff coming up.
Yeah, man.
January starting, they're going out with Tribal Seeds. It's like a 7 weeks US tour. So I've got to pull them off for 2 dates after that for go Grammys. Then right after that tour, they're going on a massive UK tour. That's headlined by UB40 with Level 42, Wheelers, and Raging Fire. That's going to be for 6 weeks.
Give me the lineup again.
UB40, Level 42, Wheelers, and Raging Fire. It's the smallest venue. I think is 10,000.
Wow.
All arenas, and I think a couple of them are
sold out,
Couple of them are already sold out.
And you guys are confirmed for the Jamrock Cruise next year.
Yeah, man.
Just
Jesus.
confirmed.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, man.
Wow.
Pure niceness.
Work,
Pure niceness.
work.
Yeah. So
That's crazy though. That's big names.
yes,
Big names.
big names.
Do you ever get, like intimidated by the people that you go on tour with? Do you ever feel like, yo, we have to go harder? Or is it just like every day same
Every day
thing?
the same. Because we rehearse every day in a far right, so we always, in good shape in terms of when we go on a stage. We make sure that we keep rehearsing. So when we go out there, we sound like a band that has been touring for a longer time. So we just do what we rehearse. Stick to the plan.
Because we have an original sound as well, So we don't, every band contributes something different. So we just go with our sound here.
It is important to be yourself when you go on those tours because they call you for a reason.
Yes, they call you to because they like what you do.
What you do.
Yeah.
The worst thing an artist can do is get called to go on a tour like that and trying to be like that.
Any more tours with Morgan Heritage, or you kind of outgrown the whole Morgan Heritage?
That's in the works.
That's in the works.
Been the works. That's been worked on.
Great, man.
Yo, would it be sweet? Grammy and Grammy on a tour.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Sweet.
There's a lot of stuff being talked about.
We call it the Grammy tour. Jesus.
Listen, we got about 2 minutes left in the building. Big up to, of course, King Addy's passing through. Big up to Gully Bob, passed through. Fat Man is in the building. Of course, family, Morgan Heritage, always. Extended family now, of course.
Yes,
Raging
yeah.
Fire, give thanks, brother. Thank you guys so much. Fingers are definitely crossed for you. Hoping that, your story comes to the best ending. You know what I mean? Because as you said, you're winning already.
Yeah, man.
This coming from the school of music and,
Yes,
to where you are now and having the guidance of a Luke Morgan and
Yeah, we're winning. Everything just feels
yes,
really
but
good.
you want that seal up there. That seal up there. Yeah, want that seal up there. But if we don't get it,
We still give thanks.
we're still giving thanks, man. And again, my brethren, give thanks for the music because it's a great thing to know. Of course, I'm getting the clue again from Fat Man to say that the album is called Everlasting. Make sure you guys get a copy of the now Grammy nominated album Everlasting. What are you saying, Fat Man? Oh, I got an autographed copy of it. Thank you. Autograph copy of it. Give thanks.
Album
man.
sign. That means when Grammy win.
Before the Grammy, my thing
Jesus,
signed.
I think sign already.
All right, so we're out of the building. Thank you guys so much for passing.
Before you guys go, where can we get the album?
It's on iTunes, Raging Fire, Amazon,
VP
you check it out,
Records,
VP
everywhere.
Records, and you can stream it, Spotify, it's everywhere.
Mad.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Luke's good work, my brother. Good
Yeah,
work.
man,
Good work.
respect,
Raging
respect,
Fire. Good
respect.
work.
Big up.